Thanks for joining us. Tony, I'll start with you. Obviously, last year, 5-3 in the league, finished in third place. Do you feel like you can continue the momentum this season and make a move even higher in the standings?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of growth in our program, Rob. Over the last year, we're, like you say, we're able to build some momentum at the end of that 21 fall season with back-to-back wins and a third place finish. I'm real proud of the way our guys attacked the off season, with Nick DeMarco and our sports performance staff. They attacked it with a great deal of purpose, winning habits in the weight room, on the practice field, in the classroom. So, we need to attack preseason camp with that same attitude, effort, and discipline. It's going to be a very challenging season in the CAA this year. There's a tremendous amount of talent returning in our league and some key transfers that I expect to be impact players. So, at the end of the day, the team that can execute consistently and stay healthy will be the team that's in position to win a CAA championship and advance to the FCS playoffs.
Colin, Jackson, sort of a similar question. What's been the message between you guys and your teammates as you've gone through all these summer workouts? Do you feel like you guys are in position now to challenge for CAA title?
You can go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we have a great attitude as a team. The camaraderie is good. We're all very close teammates. We all know each other very well. So I think that just translates on the field. And we're just really excited to take off the season.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with Jack on that. I mean, the big message for us has just been be the best player you can be and help each other be the best players that we can all be. So, I think we have a really selfless team and we're all, grinding for one another as well as getting to be the best version of ourselves. And when we put all that together, I think we're just going to end up working to our benefit for the season.
For media members who are with us today, just use the raise your hand icon in the chat feature if you have questions for these guys this morning. Tony, obviously the first time in a while without Davis Cheek back at the quarterback spot. Just talk about your offense without him and the quarterback situation in general.
Yeah, we've got a newcomer in Matt McKay, who's had a good spring, but there's a lot of competition in that room. Joey Boffman, who missed the fall season due to an injury back in the COVID spring season, and was still really getting up to speed in the spring. We expect him to be back close to 100% as we hit the field next week. But both of those guys have a good amount of game experience, as well as Justin Allen, who played a good amount during that spring COVID season. And, he might have the best arm talent of the group. But it is a position that we'll continue to evaluate during fall camp.
Got a question from Eddie Hughes. Go ahead, Eddie.
Hey, Coach, you kind of answered the question, but is it a full open quarterback competition heading into fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, those are the three guys that are going to be getting the reps with the ones going into fall camp. Matt and Joey are ahead of Justin a bit here, and we'll get more reps than Justin will with that group. But we're going to continue to evaluate those guys, make sure we got the best guy on the field.
If I could follow up real quick, how will the offense change now that you're moving on from Davis, who has been your starter there for so long?
Yeah, life after Davis. It's what's nice about it, really, Eddie, is that everybody else has grown, around Davis. When Davis was a freshman, we had a real experienced offensive line, and Davis was the puppy. And now as Davis has grown up, he had a younger O-line, but as he has departed now, our offensive line, those guys now they're becoming veterans. The same starters we had in the COVID spring and last fall are the same guys that we're going to have on the field this year and probably the next year as well. So the offense has really grown around the quarterback position. We're going to do what we've been doing offensively. Certainly everyone will have their tweaks this year, but we're going to run our offense.
Next question from BMC camera. Go ahead, Dan.
Appreciate it, Rob. Coach Tristiani, great to see you. I wanted to give you a chance to speak about leading the conference in APR. I know that's something you take great pride in, seeing your student athletes achieve that as a team. Just where's that come from in recent years for your team? I mean, certainly you're always emphasizing academics, but it definitely seems like it's been a focal point, and you guys have demonstrated that lately.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. It's something I'm real proud of with our players and our support staff. You know, it's something where we've kind of raised the bar each year. Our players, they have to earn the names on the back of their jerseys, and we do that by setting academic goals, and we've increased those goals each year. And the players and the support staff, they've done a great job with their commitment to academics. So it's what I see from that is just the winning habits. You know, attitude, effort, and discipline is what we hang our hat on a daily basis, and we're always challenging the guys to win today. So you know, seeing the success and the consistency of those habits makes me feel good about where our football team is from a maturity standpoint and from a discipline standpoint. So I think that's shown a tremendous amount of growth and commitment from our players.
Next question from Azar Johnson. Go ahead, Azar.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Good.
I was wondering, you were a middle of the pack team last year, and not in a bad way. I mean, you were 6-5. So given maybe a win here, maybe you're right. You're in Villanova's spot, rather than Villanova is. What do you have to do to get to that next step when you're right there knocking on the door?
Yeah, there is a fine line between wins and losses in the CAA. And, you know, you can look at a couple of the early games of our non-conference schedule where, you know, we lost games by, you know, 2 or 3 points. And, you know, we've got to find a way to be more consistent and win those close football games. But there's a fine line, man, between being, you know, 6-5 and, you know, 8-3. So we got to find a way to close that gap.
Okay, and another question is for Jackson. Being that you were that close from a win here and a win there, how hungry does that make you coming back this year? How motivated? Not that you need any motivation, but just how hungry does it make you knowing that you were literally right there knocking on the door?
Yeah, I think our whole team is extremely hungry, but also like to take a step back to realize how disciplined you need to be in order to win games in the CAA, and just reflecting and becoming more disciplined individuals in our lives and and on the football field. So, you know, we're hungry, ready to get after it.
Thank you.
Cole, you're part of a defense that has 9 starters back, including some all-conference guys, including yourself. How good can this unit be?
I don't think there's a limit on how good our defense can be the upcoming season. I think, you know, just looking at our guys, we could easily have one of the best defenses in the country, but, you know, it comes down to being available, being disciplined, and correcting little things throughout the season because, you know, looking at it on paper right now, everybody's defense probably looks good, but during the season, there's just so many variables, so many things that happen, and we got to be on top of the little things in order to be on top of our game, you know, week in and week out. But just from how it looks from the outside in right now, or from the inside out, I should say, we project really well.
You've played a lot of snaps now in your career and have racked up a lot of tackles. Where do you think your game has improved most out over the past few years?
Yeah, I played a ton of snaps. I've had a lot of experience just on different places on the defense. I think my game is most improved leadership. I think I had to add that to my repertoire pretty early because, you know, I came in, I was the young pup, but, you know, immediately after my sophomore year, a lot of guys graduated and I had to kind of take over that leadership role. And I wasn't necessarily accustomed to that, but I think I grew in a lot of ways there. That affected my communication, my ability to help my teammates be better and just be somebody that can make the team better just by my presence. Some tangible things on the field. I think I've grown in man coverage and my versatility and definitely football intelligence and scheme and route recognition and understanding offensive concepts and defensive concepts also.
And then Jackson, a breakout season for you a year ago, 57 catches, 820 yards, first team all conference. Can the numbers be even better this season for you? And what have you worked on in the offseason?
Yeah, definitely. I've just been patient and just been watching film, been in the film room this whole offseason, and just knowing how good, you know what I'm saying, our receiver group can be and how I can be as an individual. So again, I'm excited. I know I could be better, be a better player. I had some drops last year that I probably shouldn't have had. But again, I'm just grateful to play the game of football and just again ready to get after it this season.
Follow-up question from Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie.
This question is for both Jackson and Cole. Both you guys, what do you think the vibe of the team was coming out of spring and heading into the fall? You know, what are some of the areas that you guys want to work on as a team and individually? I think you kind of touched on it, but just individually and as a
Yeah, so I think the vibe of the team is just hunger. I think everybody came out of the spring ready to play a game. We felt like we were ready to get back on the field right away, but obviously there's things that we can improve on in the offseason. And a lot of guys had to get weight training and better understanding of the playbook. And I think, you know, with the transition from Coach Crocker at defensive coordinator to Coach E at defensive coordinator, we've kind of, you know, had to transition our defense a little bit. And I think that's one of the main things our guys have focused on, just being better within our new scheme and seeing exactly how we can, you know, be the best individual within that scheme. And I'm speaking for defense, obviously.
Yeah. So like offensively and kind of how Cole is alluding to, just a more hungry football team and just knowing where we were at during that COVID season. Again, like kind of not necessarily just thinking back on all the losses and all the close wins, but really understanding how we were as a team during that COVID season and where we want to be at now. Again, just reflecting on that, not necessarily harping on it, but just have that in the back of your mind when you're doing those extra reps in the weight room, when you're out there on the field, when you want to complain, but you really know that, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't for the betterment of the group. So just keeping those things in the back of your head.
Jackson, I touched on your numbers earlier and how good they were, but you guys had 5 different players that caught at least 30 balls last year. The fact that you're able to spread the ball around, how much easier does that make on each of you guys individually?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps. Definitely. We have a few guys who are really underrated on our team and they're ready to have breakout seasons. So I'm excited for all my teammates. But again, I think we got a great group of wide receivers. And again, we're all a close-knit group. So we want to see each other shine, want to see each other touch the rock. So again, I'm just really excited for this season to see where we're going to take off as a receiver group.
Question from Kyle Kensing. Go ahead, Kyle.
For the guys, going back a little bit to what Coach was mentioning with academics, with as much talk as there's been about conference realignment, TV contracts, and things of that nature, it feels like the academic part of college sports has kind of fallen to the background. What does it mean to you guys as students to have that be such an identifying part of your program?
Yeah, I think it just shows commitment, first and foremost. And again, I believe, and as a team, we kind of believe that things translate. So if you're doing the right thing off the field, you know what I'm saying? Essentially, that's going to translate on the field with the details. So we just try to carry that with us definitely now. So.
Yeah, I think Jackson hit it right on the head. I think that things can translate from off the field to on the field. So, you know, Elon's not an easy school. It's not easy to get good grades here. And the fact that, you know, we've been able to do it here and at the highest level in the conference shows a lot, and we take pride in that. So when we have good grades and we do what we need to do in the classroom, I think we come to film ready to work. We come to practice ready to work, and we come with a much better attitude and sense of purpose and drive when we get stuff done on and off the field.
Tony, before I let you go, the CAA celebrating 75 years in existence of the conference. You've been around for a lot of the years at different spots. What's been the key to the legacy and the success of the league over the years?
Yeah, I think we've been out front, you know, for the last, I think this is my 16th year in the league. But we've always been a front runner. You know, we've always been a conference that's sending multiple teams to FCS playoffs and advancing. And, you know, I've watched a lot of teams win national championships in our league, you know, UMass, Delaware, JMU, Richmond, you know, and I mean, that's what we just had a great brand, and it's continued, whether you change the name from, you know, the Yankee Conference to the Atlantic 10 to the CAA, from top to bottom. You're going to have, you know, teams that can have a chance to win the league from top to bottom, and we're seeing that again this year.
All right, Tony, Cole, Jackson, thanks so much for taking time with us here this morning and participating in our media day. And good luck this season as practice gets underway. And we look forward to watching you play later in the year.
Good.
Thanks, Rob.
Appreciate
Thank you.